Auspicious greetings to all Dharma friends around the world. Thank you for tuning in to a new series of Shan English Dharma services. I am Miao Zang from Shan Shifang Temple, San Diego, California. This will be the last time for us to journey together in the pursuit of the 10 paths to happiness. How's everyone's progress? I hope everyone is applying the recommended methods by the Buddha and experience great happiness. A quick recap of last week's 8th and 9th paths to happiness. We have learned that to remove Dharma obstructions, precepts are the foundation of liberation, and we venerate the initial intention and give rise to the mind of all wisdom. For us to avoid the Mara in our practice, we should completely understand that Dharma nature is equal, and we should always be diligent in our cultivation. On the 10th path to happiness, Sumati asked the Buddha the question on how to ensure that they will be greeted by the Buddhas at the end of life. The Buddha replied, once again, Sumati, Bodhisattvas use 4 methods to ensure that they'll be greeted by the Buddha at the end of life. What are the 4? First, give gifts to satisfy the needs of others. Second, produce a deep faith in all wholesome teachings. Third, offer all Bodhisattvas their ornaments. Fourth, diligently make offerings to the Triple Gem. In this life, no matter how we live, we are very fortunate to be born as humans, having the conscience, the ability to learn, and constantly improving ourselves. From the moment we took our first breath, growing up, experiencing under-the-weather moments, to our last breath, we accumulate experiences and cultivated different causes and conditions in life. For us, with faith, we are conscious of our actions, speech, and thoughts. We strive to plant the wholesome causes and conditions. When we practice righteously, we make positive affinities with others and generate more merits. When the moment comes for us to move on, we always hope that we can continue our journey to pursue our practice with the Buddha until perfection. We have to start our practice now for us to come to that day. It is just like saving money in our bank to have sufficient funds to immigrate or move to another better place. Thus, in this path to happiness, let us learn more about the suggested methods by the Buddha. The first method, give gifts that satisfy the needs of others. In the whole Sumati Sutra, the practice of giving and offering comprises of 11 out of the 40 recommended methods in the pursuit of the 10 paths to happiness. Starting from the first path to happiness, we learn to make Buddha images, to the second path to happiness, where we learn the 4 methods of giving. We continue to practice giving with wholesome thoughts, offering to the Triple Gem, and making Tathagata images with sincerity and respect. Giving is one of the practices that even the Buddha continuously to practice until even after enlightenment. Thus, it takes time for us to make it a habit and overcome the greed in our mind. With this in mind, we know that perfection in giving is not easy, but it is possible. In this method, the Buddha shares with us how we can give gifts to meet others' needs. One of the ways is to observe and understand the causes we can give and the condition for others to receive. When we go along with the causes and conditions, we can fulfill others' needs. Looking at the Shan Sangha community, we have over 1,300 monastics. People often ask Venerable Master Xing how he can meet the needs of so many monastics. Venerable Master replied, saying he treats everyone kindly and says yes and okay whenever possible. He hardly ever says no, and if he were to say that, he will always provide an alternative. There was once a first-year Buddhist college student who liked to eat eggs a lot. When she was in the Buddhist college, one of her main struggles was not having eggs. She was unable to adjust to the diet at Shan and having trouble staying focused in her practice. Knowing this, the Venerable Master asked his attendant to bring her to a diner outside the monastery to have various dishes with eggs. She was so delighted and felt so satisfied and happy after that. From that day onwards, the student focused so well on her studies as well as her practice. Venerable Master's way of fulfilling one's needs is by being flexible and going along with the conditions. There's a Buddhist saying, remain flexible yet unchanging. Remain unchanging yet flexible. When people go along with the conditions and let go of worries, happiness will always follow. Venerable Master exclaims that happiness is an especially wonderful gift to give to others. Happiness is something that grows when it is shared with others. Another real-life story that I would like to share is about giving a gift that not only satisfies one's needs, also one's life. The recent local news shared about a boy named Noah, 7-year-old, who was battling sickle cell disease, which relates to the red blood cells carrying oxygen to part of the body. If he were at a high altitude and very cold weather, it will trigger a pain crisis and other illnesses within his body. Ultimately, a bone marrow transplant is the only cure for this young boy. That was where his big brother, Blake, 10-year-old, stepped in. There was 1 in 4 chance he would be a match, and he turned out to be a perfect match. Their parents were so touched by what Blake is willing to do for his brother. Noah underwent 3 different chemotherapies, platelets and blood transfusions, plus tennis that got him back on his feet. This gift that his brother gave is beyond the needs of others. It is a Bodhisattva's gift of life. Second method that the Buddha shared is to have a deep faith in all wholesome teachings. The Buddha's teachings are not created nor invented. The teachings are the realization of reality of life. Understanding the teachings is like seeing the true form of the world. When the Buddha realized the truth of dependent origination, he had an insight on all existence comes to be, changing or cease to be, with a constant flux in the causes and conditions. When we comprehend this reality, we try our best to put together the right causes and conditions to have something to work as planned. Of course, there are still many causes and conditions that are not within our control, yet we can work on the ones that we can manage. Many Buddhists pray to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas every day. Why do we pray, even though we know that we have to cultivate ourselves to see the difference? Let me share with you a story. There was one mother who brought her daughter to the temple to pray every day. As the daughter grew up, one day she asked her mother, "Why do we pray to the Buddha? The Buddha will not just grant us what we pray for. Just like what you remind me that I still need to work hard to see the changes." Well, you are right. We still need to work hard, and yet praying helps us grow our faith and self-confidence. Also,
We pray for other uncontrolled conditions to go with what we pray for, the mother replied. When we pray, we remind ourselves of the Buddha, giving us confidence in our practice. When we pray, we are chanting or reading the Buddha's teachings or sutras, which helps to deepen our daily understanding and contemplation. With these reminders of the Buddha's practices, we constantly try to improve ourselves to be more understanding, to be kind, to improve our people's skills in forming positive connections with others, practice empathy, to be clear in mind, and to be compassionate to others as well as ourselves. Venerable Master says, you do not have to believe in the Buddha, but you must believe in the law of causality. You can do without Buddhism, but you can never do without compassion. Thus, it is crucial to have deep faith in the wholesome teachings. The third method that the Buddha shared with us is offer all Bodhisattvas their ornaments. Bodhisattvas in this context are referring to those who vow to practice the Bodhisattva's path. Ornaments are not only a treasury of ornaments, but can also be the practices that beautify our lives. When we support all those who vow to practice the Bodhisattva's path and commend their intentions, it is also offering all Bodhisattvas their ornaments. Also, everyone can support each other in this challenging Bodhisattva's practice. The great actions and vows of Samantabhadra chapter of the Flower Adornment Sutra says, the perfection of patience is an ornament. Patience is also an ornament that can beautify our lives. When we cultivate patience for living and existing, it allows us to endure the hardships, pleasures, hunger, thirst, suffering, and other non-ideal experiences in life. There is a saying, a moment of patience in a moment of anger saves you 100 moments of regret. Practicing patience is not suppressing our emotions. Being patient is to recognize the causes and conditions, wholesome and unwholesomeness, advantages and disadvantages. One of my recent experiences with patience was when our temple was undergoing building maintenance with exterior painting. Overall, the company did a good job. The temple looks new and clean now. However, during the whole process of painting, whenever I inspected the areas, I would find pieces of bright orange masking tapes here and there on the wall. Some places were also missed and not painted. I constantly reminded myself to be patient as I communicated with the project manager, Jerry. On the last day, when they said they have completed, I did the final checking. I suddenly thought of checking the roof. So I went up the tight ladder, making sure to step carefully on the roof tiles. I found out that the two flat areas on the top were not painted. Only the sides were painted. I could feel the anger within my mind was rising. Luckily, I have a habit of asking myself, am I breathing? Which brought my awareness to the present and prompted me to be patient. It was not easy, but it took some efforts and time to clear my mind. There is a saying of, endure for a breath and the storm settles. Take a step back and the sky is limitless and the ocean is boundless. I took some photos and shared with Lynette, who is my Bodhisattva, in helping me draft a friendly reminder email instead of a straightforward one to let the company know. Everything turned out well. Patience is solving problems. Whether a situation is good or bad, patience can make big matters small and small matters non-issues. Thus, the ornament of patience
it's also important for us to all adorn ourselves with this. The last method that the Buddha taught us is to diligently make offerings to the Triple Gem, which refers to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Offering to the Buddha is to show our respect and a token of appreciation for the teachings that the Buddha shared. Offering to the Dharma is to support the sharing and continuous teachings in this world. Offering to the Sangha are supporting the monastics who promote the truth, serving the society and spreading compassion and wisdom. Most importantly, by offering to the Triple Gem, we dedicate all wholesome roots to all sentient beings as we cultivate merit in cultivating positive connections with them. As we continuously deepen our affinity with the Triple Gem, we slowly nurture the Buddhist seed in our mind. Gradually, the Buddhist seed germinates and cultivates more wholesome deeds, life after life. This will eventually lead us to realizing supreme enlightenment with all sentient beings. Happiness is what we are all seeking for. The 10 paths to happiness of the Sumati Sutra shows us the Buddha's self-experience and proven methods to the long-lasting happiness, which is liberating ourselves from dukkha and the cycle of birth and death. Before we conclude, let us have a quick review of all the 40 methods mentioned by the Buddha. First, do not give rise to anger when dealing with unwholesome friends. Second, tranquilly abide with great loving kindness. Third, take deep joy in the true Dharma. Fourth, make Buddha images. Fifth, give timely gifts. Sixth, give without contempt or arrogance. 7. Give joyfully. 8. Give with no expectation of reward. Number 9. Skillfully abandon divisive language. 10. Persuade sentient beings marred by wrong view to abide in right view. 11. Protect and ensure the continuation of the true Dharma. 12. Teach all sentient beings to attain Buddhahood. 13. Offer flowers, fruits, and powdered incense at Tathagata stupas and temples. 14. Never bring harm upon others. 15. Make Tathagata images and place them upon lotus thrones. 16. Develop a pure faith in the enlightenment of all Buddhas. 17. Do not hinder or become angry at the sight of others cultivating wholesomeness. 18. Do not impede others from speaking the Dharma. 19. Light lamp offerings at Tathagata stupas. 20th. Continuously cultivate all varieties of meditative concentration. 21. Make good Dharma friends without flattery. 22. Do not be jealous of others' accomplishments. 23. When others achieve fame, be happy for them. 24. While cultivating Bodhisattva's practices, do not slight or slander others. 25. Always be consistent in your words and practice. 26. Do not hide your wrongdoing from good Dharma friends. 27. Do not seek fault in the Dharma one hears. 28. Do not give rise to unwholesome thoughts towards those who speak the Dharma. 29. Embrace the 3 categories of Bodhisattva's precepts. 30th. After hearing the profound sutras, do not slander them. 31. See those who make their initial intention, then give rise to the mind of all wisdom. 32. Treat all sentient beings with great loving kindness and equanimity. 33. Completely understand the Dharma nature is equal. 34. Give rise to diligence. 35. Constantly contemplate the Buddha. 36. Dedicate the merit from all wholesome roots. 37. Give gifts to satisfy the needs of others. 38. Produce a deep faith in all wholesome teachings. 39. Offer our bodhisattvas their ornaments. 40. Diligently make offerings to the Triple Gem. The Buddha provided 4 methods of practice for each question asked by Sumati. To conclude, I would like to share the following 4 points. First, Buddhism as do-it-yourself or DIY. All the practices we learn from the Buddha have to be put into practice or do-it-yourself. It is because everything is an effect that arises from causes and conditions. When we cultivate the causes and conditions of wholesomeness, the wholesome effects will follow. Second, giving as one of the key practices. As we learn all the 40 methods in this sutra, many methods relate to giving. Not only do we establish positive connections with others through giving, but it is also an antidote to our greediness. The more we practice giving, the less attached we are, the lesser ego we have, the more we care for others, and gradually cultivate a mind with loving kindness and without hatred. Third, ambition is not barred by age nor gender. In Buddhism, what is small or young, men or women, should not be taken lightly, as everyone is equal in inherent nature and Buddha nature. Sumati, an 8-year-old girl, was Manjushri Bodhisattva's teacher in the past lives. After learning this, Manjushri Bodhisattva stood up and bowed to Sumati. There is no ego or discrimination of age, status, or gender. Even in today's society, many Gen Z, those who were born after 1996, stood up to do some good to help the society, especially during this special time. Fourth, uphold our initial intention and vows. Initial intentions and vows are crucial in our daily practice as well as our path to Buddhahood. It is just like our compass in our practice, continuously aspiring to move forward in the journey of discovering and seeing the truth of life. Similarly, Sumati, who relied on the power of her vow to support her, it is the same power that enables Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva to endlessly help the suffering of beings in the lower realms. The Buddha has also vowed to liberate those he could by sharing the happiness in the Dharma. So no matter how challenging life is, always remember our initial intention and vows. To see the Buddha is through the understanding of the truth. We practice the truth, following the causes and conditions in life, and gradually moving towards perfection in our practice. Lastly, may everyone continue to strive hard in life. May all receive the Dharma and grow deep, strong roots. All the best to you all until we meet again. Let us add oil together. Aum Tofo.